What the heck is going on here, Brandy? I cannot believe that I've just found out that you're the one that's been going out with my husband behind my back. You really did a great job hiding that important bit of information from me. Why are you talking about me like that out of nowhere? Do you really think that one of your good old friends would be stupid enough to go out with your husband? Especially when I've been a great friend to you, actually. So could you please stop acting like I'd ever do something as ridiculous as that? Could you stop trying to hide what you've been doing from me? I finally had enough of my husband always dodging me and asked for someone to follow him and find out more from me about what he's been up to. And guess what? That guy I asked to follow him around noticed that you've been the one that Frank's been cheating on me with. Huh? You asked someone to stalk him? You actually went ahead and did something crazy like that? Well, you were the one that suggested I do something like that, right? You said to my face that if I really wanted to learn about what my husband's been up to have some pro follow him around and find out for me. And that's why I paid $500 to have a guy go out and get me the information I needed. Man, I can't believe that. I thought because of how much of a pussy you are, you'd never have the nerve to do that to him. Well, I've been proven wrong today. If that pro you got to stalk him found that much evidence, then there really is no use in playing dumb anymore, is there? Well, you're right. I've been the one going out with your husband behind your back. You are the worst, Brandy. How could you do this to me after all those times I came to you about how I thought he was cheating on me? You even told me to find a pro to go out and follow him. Tell me, Brandy. What were you feeling when I came to get advice from you on what I should do about Frank? I bet while you put on a face to show how much you were worried about me, you were laughing your butt off inside. That's right. I had to hold back so much laughter to make sure I didn't spill the truth. And man, did I do a great job. I was able to fool you long enough to get you to actually go out and hire someone to get evidence for you. And now, because of that, you've finally come to realize it's been me all along and you've wasted so much time and money. Remember how much I had tried to get evidence of Frank cheating on me? But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get anywhere. But you were there telling me to not give up. Why did you have to be the one going out with my husband this whole dang time? Because you're a disgusting piece of crap, Miriam. And that's why I went ahead and stole your husband from you. Wait, I'm the piece of crap? You and I are like two peas in a pod, yet you thought it was okay to get married before me? I was not going to just sit around letting you get away with that. Ever since you got married, my parents have been on me saying that I need to get married soon as well, and it's been so annoying. And then, right before they end their little pep talks with me, they tell me to take some inspiration from you in finding a husband. And to be honest, I have been wanting to get married for a long time now, but I haven't been able to find the right man. And I don't want some loser to become my husband. I have to have the perfect man, and I've been waiting forever for him to come. What? What the heck, Brandy? That makes no sense to me. Why would that be your reason for taking my husband from me? Shut up, Miriam. It's your fault for thinking that you could live a happy life being married to Frank before me. Frank is such a great employee and makes enough to allow you to be happy every single day. Huh? Well, I've been wanting a man with decent money myself. Yet while I've been waiting to come across that man, you brought your money-making man around showing him off to me. Why did you get to end up marrying the perfect man for me? You really think I'd allow you to do that to me? That's why you're a disgusting piece of crap and why I stole him from you. So that's your reason for stealing your longtime good friend's husband? Are you actually this happy to watch me suffer like this? I'm sorry, but that happiness won't last long for you if that's what you sought by doing this. Huh? I'm sorry, but I'm going to be happy with what I've done to you for a very long time. But to be honest with you, now that you know I've been the one going out with him behind your back, the thrill of it has ended. However, now he and I are going to get married soon, so you hurry up and divorce him for me. Excuse me? So you really are just going to straight up steal him from me? Did you really think I'd go through all the work of getting him to fall for me just to let you have him back after finding out about what he was doing? I really do want to steal him from you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me now. Maybe if you'd been a bit closer with your husband, he would have never fallen for me. But you chose to never hang out with him enough and show him the love he deserves, and that's why he's mine now. You have proof, after all, that he and I are deeply in love, so you shouldn't even have to question anything anymore. I'm going to marry Frank, so step aside. I guess you're right. I do have a boatload of photos now showing you going out with my husband and the two of you being so close. And he's smiling with you way more than anything I've ever seen from him. Frank is actually a really loving man. When he first started to fall for me, he immediately told me that he wanted to get married. And to get me to agree with him, he's bought me all sorts of gifts. And he's even told me that the moment we get married, we're moving into a penthouse downtown. Huh? He has promised me all of that and so much more. He's even told me that he wants to make sure that I live a totally free life. And that's why he's going to let me be his housewife in that new penthouse. Also, he's promised that by the time we've moved into that place, he'll be a CEO and we'll have all kinds of money at our disposal. Is that so? Well, good for you. Why are you acting all okay about this now? You shouldn't be telling me that this will be good for me. You should be crying and begging me to give Frank back to you. You just lost the love of your life to your best friend, and you're going to try and hide behind a strong mask. Give me a break, Miriam. You just lost a wealthy man to your longtime friend. I'm not trying to fake being strong about this right now. I'm just telling you how I feel about the situation. After all, you have always been the one with a better sense of style than me. So I feel that you'll be a much better wife to him when he becomes a CEO than I will. Oh, stop that. I can't believe you understand this so well. Of course, I will look a lot better in the arms of a wealthy man like Frank. That's right. You'll look perfect next to him. And that's why I've already come to terms with you stealing him from me and kind of think of it as a great thing for everyone involved. And to be frank, me being with him is way too abnormal and shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Right? Compared to a level-headed woman like you being with him, a sexy-looking young gal like me is a much better match. Now I'm looking forward to hearing about your guys' divorce. You really helped me out a lot by bringing a good-looking and wealthy man like Frank to me. Just a second ago, I got the divorce papers for us. And I've already filled it out and signed my name on it. So please make sure to sign it when you get home. Then I'll be able to hand it in right away, and you and Brandy can continue your guys' dream of getting married.
What? Why do you know about how I've been hanging around Brandy this whole time?
For a long time now, I've been aware of you going out with another woman and never telling me anything about it. So I got some advice from a friend and went and hired a pro to follow you around and gather some evidence. And the evidence I got from that pro was shocking, to say the least. But that's why I'm willing to divorce you now, Frank.
You hired a pro?
This should all be amazing news for you, right? From what she was telling me, she made it look as though you wanted to get married to her as soon as possible. So having the only thing stopping you from that say she's going to disappear should make you happy, right?
Well, you have a good point. I am a bit surprised, though, that you figured all of that out so quickly. But the fact that you're even willing to leave me now without fighting back is perfect.
I will ask you this one thing, though. Why did you end up cheating on me? And furthermore, why did you cheat on me with one of my best friends?
You already know the answer to all of that. It's because her and I were meant to be together, and there's nothing that can get in the way of our happiness together.
Huh? Can you say that to me one more time?
The person that I should be married to isn't you. The person that's fated to be my wife is Brandy. So you can't really call what's been going on between the two of us cheating. I've just been going out with my destined wife, and that's totally okay.
So that's how much you're in love with that girl. Have you told her yet that the company you're slated to run is starting to collapse? Well, I guess it all makes sense now that you have all that time on your hands to be going out with another woman. You haven't even been bothering to save the company, instead thinking that it'll just save itself while you go out with your destined lover.
Well, I'll have you know that ever since I started going out with Brandy, my company has gotten back up.
What?
This year, there have been a lot of rival companies doing a lot better than this one, and it was expected that this company would fall. However, we began to sell a lot of assets to make up for whatever losses there have been. But as we were thinking that selling assets wouldn't even bring in enough money to make up for the losses, I ran into Brandy. We both decided to go out to dinner together, even though I was exhausted. And what do you know? The day after that first date, my company received a new contract.
Really? You think that it's because of her your company's on the way back to the top after being in such a terribly low position?
This isn't just some coincidence, you know. Every time since then that we've gone on dates with one another, my company's image has gone up and there have been more profits. There is still a little ways to go before the company really begins to rake in the money, but I know for a fact that we've avoided going bankrupt. To me, Brandy is no different than a miracle to me, and I will not let go of her.
So this is your reason for throwing me away and going after her? Even though this whole time I've been the one standing by your side supporting you? Even when I've been with you while the company has been going under, cheering you on?
I don't need you around anymore. It's as simple as that. The only woman I need now is Brandy, and no one else. I'm still shocked myself that she's given me so much more than you, and we're not even married yet. That's the power of being with the woman you're destined to be with. I can tell right now that the moment we marry, things will only become even better for me, and I'll be the happiest man in the world.
You may be right about that. After all, you both look as though you'd go perfectly together after getting married. All I am now to the both of you is a wall in the way of your bright future together.
Oh? What's happened to you all of a sudden? You're acting like you're totally fine with the fact that I'm leaving you now.
Well, you said it yourself, right? The moment you and her started going out with one another, your company was able to make an amazing comeback, right? And since that's been able to go on for a bit now, there's no way it's just a coincidence. Also, you are so invested in marrying her that there's nothing left for me to do to change your mind. Really, I'm starting to think that she really is meant for you too. So I have nothing left to do now besides letting her have you.
Well, it's really helping me out a lot that you've already come to understand this. To tell you the truth, she isn't even the first woman that I've messed around with while being married to you. So, just to be a kind man, I'll pay you whatever you ask for me to make up for the pain I've caused.
Thank you, Frank. That money will really help me out a lot. Now, I'd really like to get that divorce paperwork handed in, so get to it and sign what needs to be signed. I'll be wishing for the both of you to have a happy and healthy marriage to one another after this. I just happened to get married to Frank yesterday. We both went to the city office yesterday and filed our marriage papers. Congratulations, Brandy. You are finally with the man you were destined for. So, can we finally agree that I've come out on top of everyone? The next thing I get to look forward to is moving into that penthouse with Frank soon. To tell you the truth, right after we handed in our papers yesterday and became married, we went right to the penthouse and walked through it. And we decided that the place was perfect for us and immediately agreed that we'd like to rent it. What? You've already found yourselves a penthouse you plan to move into? It's around $10,000 a month to rent the place and was just remodeled with all the newest appliances. But because of that high price, it'll take a few days for the realtor to check over Frank's income to make sure he can afford the place. But he is Frank, after all, so there's no doubt we're getting that penthouse. So today we're going to head to some of the finest furniture stores in the state to start buying only the best luxury furniture and electronics. And Frank's even told me that I can pick anything I want, no questions asked. It must be so exciting to be you right now. I think right now you're the most excited woman on this planet. Of course I am. I was able to find myself the perfect man to make my husband, and we just got married. He is such a gentleman, and he's the new CEO of that company, so there was no hesitation. Being able to marry the perfect man has made me really think that I can get away with pretty much anything now. I'm so happy that I'll buy literally everything in those furniture stores today. Thank you so much, Miriam. You were very kind in allowing me to have your husband without there being any kind of retaliation. No, thank you, Brandy. You were able to get that CEO of a collapsing company out of my sight. Huh? I didn't even think that it'd be possible for you two to get married to one another this quickly. I am bursting with joy now. And to see you so happy with such a useless man warms my heart right up. Wait a second. Stop calling Frank a useless man. And what are you talking about? His company is not close to collapsing, right? He told me that his company is doing amazing right now and is expected to bring in loads this year. Well, that's what was expected before. But today, that contract that he was expecting to renew has been ended. And since he now has no customers willing to work with his company this quarter, he'll be right back on the path to bankruptcy. And unlike all the other times, I won't be there to help him and his company out of it. I don't see him having any other way of getting that company back on its feet now, so he's on a one-way trip to losing everything. Huh? And because of all that, don't expect to be able to afford that penthouse. After all, those landlords and realtors are very, very strict about who is allowed to rent them or not. And I think them seeing that Frank is on the road to losing his company and his money, they won't allow you guys to live there. What the hell are you going on about? Why the hell would Frank's company be on the brink of going bankrupt now? There's no way. What contract is he going to lose, and why would that make him lose his chance at renting the penthouse for us? I bet you're just upset with me now because I'm way more happy than you are and are trying to sabotage my emotions. Well then, why not give Frank a text or call about it? But I'm sure he's running around right now like a chicken with his head cut off, so you might be better off just texting him. Heck, I'd say your best chance now is to just head over to his company and see the condition it's in yourself.
What the hell is going on here, Miriam? Recently, that contract I've been planning on renewing has fallen out, and the customer is planning on looking to other companies now. If I'm not able to find anyone else to start working with me, I really will be on a one-way trip to going bankrupt. If you have any idea as to why this could be happening to me, please tell me.
What? Why are you contacting me about all of that? All I am to you now is your ex-wife, right?
I've already heard about everything from Brandy. She told me that you happen to know about that contract being ended, and seems to think you know the reason why. Why would my ex-wife know anything about my company and its contracts? Wait, could this mean that after the divorce, you've been holding something against me? And this is all you're doing?
I haven't done anything, Frank. All I ended up doing was telling my parents and family about how you left me for my friend. But funny enough, that company that you had the contract with was actually run by my family.
What?
And let me just say that I never asked any of my family to end that contract with your company. But when telling them all about how we got a divorce and the reason behind it, they all seemed to become pretty upset. And that might be why they chose to stop working with you and your company.
I don't think any of that is a maybe anymore. I'm 100% sure that that's what's happening here. There's no other reason for this to be happening now. This is all unbelievable, though. How could the company that I've been working with for a little while now be run by your family? I've never heard anything about that from you or anyone.
You have a great point. But the reason you never heard anything about that is because you were too busy cheating on me with Brandy at the time the contract was made.
What?
You don't even want to know the amount of times I went to my parents asking them to please make a contract with your company. But I really wanted to help my then husband get the company back on its feet before taking on the role as CEO. And that's why I went through all that hard work. But you never noticed me putting in all that work because you were too busy going out with a good friend of mine.
Huh? You went and did all that for me?
I thought it'd be right as your wife to try and help you with your job. But at the time, I had no idea about all of that business-related stuff. So that's why I did what I could with what I had to make sure that your company could make a comeback. Going to my own family begging for them to make a contract with your company. And after so much work, they finally decided to give your company a really decent contract. But that whole time, you had no idea of it and thought it all had to do with Brandy. Well, it must hurt your pride now, knowing that your company having a chance to get back on its feet was all due to my family and I.
So you're saying that the really generous contract the company had gotten was all due to you? This had nothing to do with Brandy?
That's absolutely right. It was all just a coincidence. While you were out being unfaithful, I was working my butt off to save your skin. And when my work was all said and done, you were given that contract and thanked Brandy for it, saying that she was like some kind of miracle for you. Even saying to me that she was your destined wife and would help you both make bank.
But that's...
When I had to listen to you go on and on about all of that, it really gave me a frickin' headache. You didn't care for any of the work I put in and continued on about how she was your good luck charm. After all that, the love that I'd worked so hard to make with you fell apart and withered away.
You're lying, right? How could this all have happened due to you, and not due to the fact that I'm finally with my destined wife? So, what am I going to do now knowing that Brandy isn't really what's been giving me so much good luck? I finally thought that the company was golden, and now it's going right back down the drain. And now, I'm not even going to have the help of your family with me.
How about you go ask your good luck charm of a wife for help? If she really is the woman you're destined to be with, then you'll make it out of all this just fine. You really have everything, so there will be some way your company makes it out of all this.
But what if this time a miracle doesn't happen?
Well, then that just means your wife isn't all you thought she was. Now, your ex-wife has to get going. You're supposed to be having the best time of your life right now, so please go back to being happy for everyone. What am I going to do, Miriam? Frank's company really is coming to an end like you said. He told me that now the company faces bankruptcy. He's not going to have any more money. Oh my. It's only been 1 week and things aren't going as the two of you had planned? What happened to him being the perfect man for you and having all that money? Right now, there's nothing about him that's perfect. He's not even going to be able to get that penthouse for us now. And as for all that luxury furniture and electronics that I bought, we have to go and return it all. All because he couldn't take care of his company. Why, when I was just about to become the happiest woman in the world, did this have to happen to me? Sucks to suck, Brandy. You actually thought that stealing one of your best friend's husbands would end up going well for you? Stop trying to talk to me like that right now. What I want to know is why you never told your best friend about how her man's company was on the brink of going bankrupt. If only I'd known that his company was in bad condition before marrying him, then I could have had the chance to leave him before we tied the knot. You are a freaking jerk for hiding a truth like that from your friend. Why would you do something so hurtful to me of all people? You know the reason for that, right? You were the one that started all of this by stealing Frank from me. Huh? If I had told you about all of this, you would have never fallen for the trap of marrying him, right? But I didn't want to ruin your guys' love that quickly. I wanted you both to really get inches away from your happiness before I told you all the truth. And would you look at that? I timed it all out perfectly, and now both the crappy friend of mine and my useless ex can suffer for what they've done. So there you go. My reason for hiding the truth from you. So that's why you were totally fine with the two of us getting married and even encouraged it. I should have known something was up by how fast you recovered from that blow. I was being honest, though, about you both getting married. You really are meant for each other based off how horrible of people you are. A brainless husband and his brainless wife makes for a perfect match. This is so messed up. Wanting both your ex and best friend to end up in shambles? And now you're calling us both stupid? I bet that you've been laughing about all of this behind our backs. You apologize to me right now for doing something like this to me. Wait, why should I do that? Weren't you the one that started all of this by going out with my husband behind my back? And you told me that you put on a face when talking to me because you were really laughing about how sad I was, right? Well, that was... So what you should be saying is that we both got to get in a good laugh from all this. And none of this is okay, though. Especially since you ended up getting a ton of money from Frank in the divorce while I'm going to end up with nothing. And I have to thank you for being there to save his company when you did. Because of that, he was able to make just enough money to pay me the amount I asked for before I left. Well, I want to divorce him and get his money as well now. Yet right now he has no money to his name. It's not fair that you're the only one making out of this with money. Stop being so selfish, Brandy. You at least got to marry the perfect man that you'd been searching so long for, right? If you're really wanting money as well now, go ahead and help him save his company then. Go around and find a company that you'll be willing to get on your hands and knees for to beg for them to make a contract with him. You wanted to become the wife of a CEO, so you have to start putting in the work to help keep him there. After that, Brandy tried to get Frank to divorce her, but he turned around and told her that she could not run away and that she needed to help him save his company. And so she ended up having to stick by his side, helping him find ways to get his company from going bankrupt and help themselves from losing everything. But of course, they weren't going to be able to do much about how bad of a situation the company was already in. And as I'd mentioned before, it was on a one-way trip out of here. As of right now, those two had to move into a really cheap apartment together and are living every day of their lives using large amounts of borrowed money. As for me, due to the money I received from Frank in the divorce and the settlement thereafter, I've been doing pretty well on my own. For the time being, I think I'm going to take things slow and work towards making myself an even better person, before going back out into the romance world looking for a new partner.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow.
Hurry up and get that divorce. Sasha is no longer into you anymore, okay? So please give up that seat at his side already and let me sit there. Huh? I had thought cheating with him all this time would have gotten you to leave him by now. But you are not letting go of him even after seeing his faithlessness towards you. I get that you want to continue being the wife of a CEO, but that seat is meant for me now. So is this really who my husband has been cheating on me with? Abigail? So you've been the one sending him home after he gets out of work covered in kisses made with red lipstick. And you've been putting all those pictures of you two together in my mailbox each week. I know about you and him being a thing very well now. Well then, why have you not divorced him for me yet? You've seen all those pictures of him loving up on me, right? Sasha's into me now, and he won't be letting me go. I want to hurry this up and get married to him, and I want him to start calling me his wife. Is that so? But even after telling me things like that, it's not going to make me just hand him over to you. It's not as simple as you think for a married couple to just call it quits like that. Huh? All you have to do is sign the dang divorce papers and then hand them in. That is so easy that a baby can do it. When it comes to there being a divorce over one of the two being unfaithful, there are a lot of steps added to the process. We have to talk about how to split the properties and about the settlement that'll come after. You are such a parasite. So you've just been worried about his money all this time? This is why he doesn't want you to be his wife anymore. Excuse me? Sasha is always going on about it. He gets so upset about how much of a leech you are, and talks about how whenever he brought up wanting to separate, you'd freak out and do everything to keep him around you. But I'm telling you, all that work you put in trying to keep him with you was actually pushing him away even faster. What do you mean I'm a parasite? You're telling me that he's been talking about me that way this whole time? He's always calling you a parasite. He says you are like a leech, a tick, even a tapeworm at times. I mean, he's not wrong though, right? In order to never allow him to get rid of you, you hang on tight to his fur coat, right? You never seem to want to listen to him, and he's had enough of it. Unlike with you, he actually wants me to be around him, but he can't do that yet when you are still clinging onto his back. Huh? I'm sorry, Jenny. I know that you've given all your effort to stay attached, but it's not going to work when he is a cute and young girl ready to take you out. He told me that he's going to get rid of you once and for all and then let me climb on him instead. So now that you're aware of that, just give up on him and go find another person to latch on to. And by the way, Sasha's coming over to my place tonight to stay until you're gone. Hey, Sasha, we need to talk. I've heard that you've been calling me a parasite now, correct?
Huh? What are you talking about now? I have a lot going on right now as the CEO of a company. Right now I'm in the middle of a very important meeting, right?
What important meeting? I know that you're on a date with the girl you've been cheating on me with is all.
What?
I have been getting a lot of crap from that other woman of yours for a while now. But I guess that's only natural from someone who thinks it's all right to take a married man away from his wife. I'm sure you thought you'd be able to hide all these secret dates from me by saying you have to work and all that crap, but I've been aware of you for a while now. Honestly, I wasn't that upset then, but today I learned that you've been calling me the parasite in this relationship. I am not going to let any of that slide now.
Hey, wait. How long have you known about Abigail and I?
I think it's been a bit over a year now. And I was just texting with her a couple minutes ago. She had something very important to tell me. And that was that she wanted me to hurry up and get divorced from you. She really wants to marry you soon, so she's wanting me to rush now.
What?
Now let me talk with you about all of this. Do you really plan on divorcing me and then getting remarried to that woman you've been cheating with? We have been married for 7 years now and have been a couple for 10. You plan to crumple those 10 years with me up and throw them away?
What do you want me to say? I don't have any use for an old used-up hag like you anymore. Us men like to be around young and good-looking women all our lives, but I'm no exception to that.
Excuse me?
Also, you are the perfect example of a parasite. There's no merit to me being married to you any longer, and that's why I'm choosing to be with Abigail now.
What about me as a parasite to you, Sasha? I have been giving it my all to support you and your business by being at your side all this time as your wife.
Who cares about that? You're nothing like a wife to me, but rather a nasty little tick. I happen to have a company and loads of money at my disposal. And that's the only reason you've wanted to be so close to me, is so that you can get all that money.
What?
I've been watching you work so hard for me, all in order to keep me from throwing you away. It's hilarious what lengths you've gone to as well. Not only will you help me with my business at times, but you do all the chores for me. When I get home, you give me those 2-hour massages I ask for, like you're afraid of losing me. You'll even go out in the middle of night to get food that I want from the store. I know that you've just been doing all that in order to stay on my skin, which means you're nothing more than a parasite to me.
You stop all that right now! You thought I was doing all of that stuff in order to keep me around you?
You sure were, weren't you? You know dang well that if I get rid of you, then you're doomed.
The reason I was doing all of that was in order to make you happy and keep our marriage life going. The reason I was giving you those messages and going out in the middle of the night to shop for you was all out of love. And the reason I did it all with a smile on my face is because if I looked upset about it, you'd flip. And then you'd go back to what you'd always told me in the past, and that is that if I didn't listen to the man of the house, you'd throw a fit, which you've done plenty of times now, like some spoiled child.
I have every right to throw a fit about it, though. I'm not going to just sit around and let a parasite get the better of me like that.
This is BS. I can see now that you have no room for discussion anymore. The only two responses I can get from you now is either calling me a parasite or getting upset with me over nothing. But I shouldn't be surprised by that since you already have another woman now.
Oh, don't worry about me listening to you anymore, because this is over with. I don't need to have a parasite attached to me anymore, and Abigail has helped me realize that. And so, because of that, hurry up, get out of my face. And with this divorce, you better give me back all those shares you've got in my company.
What?
I gave you a whole lot of shares in my company in the past, right? You kept asking me over and over again to give them to you, so I did out of wanting to keep my own sanity. You're probably whining to me, so let you have some because you're a parasite, right? You wanted to make sure you had something to do with my company financially, in order to keep me from kicking you to the curb. Well, it doesn't work that way, Jenny. They have nothing to do with you being my wife.
You're joking, right? Do you have any idea why I have shares in your company right now?
In order to keep me from getting rid of you, right? What a freaking brainless woman. Thinking of some shares in my company would make me more open to having you as a wife long term.
I'm done with this. Sasha, you and I are through. I'll sign those divorce papers for you right now, and I'll hand you back those shares and whatever else you want.
Finishing this up now will help me out a bunch. Abigail has become a real pain in my neck recently, going on and on about how she wants to get married. I just never thought she'd actually start texting you about all of it, but I guess that just shows, well, how much she loves me.
That's right, she really wants to become the wife of a CEO. But in return for me allowing this divorce, I'd like you to be ready to pay me the settlement I'll be asking for from you.
Sure. I'll pay you whatever you ask for. I'm a CEO, after all, so it won't even bother me to fork over that kind of cash. Unlike you parasites, I actually happen to be very well off.
Hearing that from you, I'm a little relieved. Well, I'm going to get in touch with my lawyer and talk this over, and I'll send you the details later. And once you've gone ahead and sent me that money that I've asked for, I'll hand in the divorce papers.
Sounds perfect. You know that I'll be agreeing to the amount you asked for, so go ahead and get ready to hand in those papers.
Thank you so much for getting that divorce, Jenny. Because of that today, Sasha and I were able to hand in our marriage forms. Congratulations on your marriage. But be careful about having an even younger and more cute woman than yourself coming up from behind and stealing him from you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to scare me by saying things like that. Sasha is so into me. There's no way on this big green earth that he would ever take his eyes off me for another woman. That's quite the confidence you have there. Now let's get to business. You've already divorced Sasha now, so hurry it up and get out of that house. We were just able to hand in our marriage forms, but not being able to live together in that house yet is a bit annoying. What? That house that you're still sitting in right now is going to be our house starting today, yet you're still sitting in there and not bothering to get out. I am the wife of a CEO now, so tell me why I should still have to live in my tiny little apartment to make room for you to be in that house with him. Get a move on and get out of my mansion. From what it sounds like, you haven't been told everything by Sasha just yet, have you? Huh? What else was he supposed to tell me? Stop it with all this stupid talk and get the hell out of my house. He's already thrown you away and chosen the younger and cuter me to have as his wife, so a loser like you needs to get out of my mansion right now. Is it really that hard for a parasite like you to find a new host? I've already gone and sold that house. Huh? So when it comes to me moving out, I'm already at my new place. You have no right to sit there and tell me to leave when that mansion is no longer in my possession. Since you don't even seem to have a clue what's going on, try talking to Sasha about it before coming to me again. Wait a second, please. The mansion's been sold? You sold my mansion? The mansion where I was supposed to be loved by Sasha in? If I remember correctly, that mansion was never yours or Sasha's to begin with. I was given that house in the settlement that came with the divorce, so it was mine before selling it. I have every right to sell whatever's mine, and I don't have to tell you a thing about it. Huh? What the hell do you mean you got that place with the settlement? I was never told any of this by Sasha. And that's why I want you to go and talk to him right now. I don't care to explain it to you, so ask him. But Sasha's a CEO, and he is way too busy every day to explain things to me. Unlike you, who has all the time in the world as a lowly parasite. Now, you tell me, what the hell is going on? Really? Sasha's been telling me about this the whole time. He said that the moment he gets rid of you, he and I are going to move into a nice mansion. He got me all excited about the new life we'd have together after getting married, but now you're going to tell me he gave that mansion to you in a settlement? No, there is no way. But there was a way. I get it. You're just trying to bully me now, huh? You think so? Settlements normally only include money in them, right? You getting the house in the settlement and then selling it without my approval? That's all been done by you as a way of harassing me and my husband. You are the most scummy and toxic woman on this planet. Would you stop going on about whatever stupid misunderstanding you have? I never wanted a mansion or anything in the settlement, to be honest. But he didn't have enough money otherwise, so I had to make do getting the place from him. So he gave me whatever money he did have and then gave me the house as well to sell. Huh? You're telling me that he didn't have enough money to pay you and had to give up his house as well? What the hell are you going on about? He's a CEO. He has all the money in the world in his pockets. He's always going on about how he has all this money saved up and it's so much we could buy an island with it. Saying things is pretty easy to do. But it's actually proving said things that can be quite difficult. And in this case, he has nothing in his savings. The company that he's running has been in the red for a long time now, and he's got a lot of debt. And because of that, the only things he could give me was his pocket change and the house. Huh? Hold on. He has $0 in his savings, and his company is in debt? What the hell do you mean? He's made himself look like a competent CEO in front of you, right? In the past, I suppose he was one, but things have changed since then. A lot has happened. After his company took off, the money got to his head and he started messing around too much. And when that was happening, he would force all his employees to do the most insane things for his company. And after all of them started to leave his company, he was left on his own to try and fix the now dying business he once had. What? A lot of his employees tried to talk with him on a serious level about what had been going on. But he would never listen to them, instead talking back in a more aggressive tone, giving them no choice but to quit. So because of all that, he is now barely running a company that's completely in the red. But he is still a CEO, so you understand that all kinds of companies have debt at some point, right? He should know how to handle all that, right? It would be crazy for him not to know what to do. Right when his company was on the verge of going bankrupt, I saved it. I have actually been a holder of quite a large number of shares in his company, so I happen to have some weight in his company. Are you serious? When I started to realize that he had turned into a psycho when it came to managing his company, I stepped in and bought a ton more shares in his company to keep it above water. And ever since the first time I bought those shares, I've been doing my best to keep things going there. But of course, since he has no idea what's going on with his own company and is just fooling around all the time, he doesn't really know that I've been behind the scenes running the operation. When I did bring up the fact that I have a large portion of the shares in his company, he just started to call me a parasite and said he gave those all to me. What? I had really tried so hard to help his company continue on, but recently some very crazy things happened, and due to that, well, his company is right back on the slippery slope to hell. And all due to the fact that the woman he was cheating on me with thought it would be funny to brag about how she's been with my husband, that I'm a parasite to him. Since that first time you texted me about all that, I've become really tired and don't bother with Sasha's company anymore. No! Honestly, it's so funny to watch how deep in the red his company is falling. Everyone he still had working with him now is left. I felt bad that they were all leaving without any kind of money for it, so I've been giving them a check from the money I gained after selling the mansion. A lot of these people have worked for Sasha for a long time and deserve a package. So I'll use the money from their CEO to do just that. That's why he has nothing left then? It's all either gone to me to pay for the settlement or it's gone to the banks? Did you know, though, that in the divorce, he also asked me to give back the shares I had? It was so hilarious watching him learn about what was really happening at his company. I was pissing myself as his smile faded to a blank stare at the wall. Jenny, do you have any idea how much debt his company is still in right now? If it's just a small amount, then he'll be able to fix things, no problem, right? I'm sure that if he put a little more effort into it, he could become a competent CEO again, right? As of right now, he owes $6 million. He never paid any attention to the debt he was getting into and continued to borrow more and more money. $6 million? No way. How the hell could he get that deep into debt? Congratulations on becoming the wife of a CEO. It's rare to see someone marry a CEO who's about to lose their company and be stuck with $6 million worth of debt. You must really love Sasha for the man he is then. Huh? What the hell do you mean? Do you think it's funny congratulating me for this? I am not messing around anymore. This is not at all the life I was expecting after marrying him. Well, I'm going to go now, all right? You can both do something about this yourselves, okay?
Hey, Jenny, why the hell did you tell her about the truth?
Wow, it's been a bit since I last heard you calling my name. Normally you just talk to me without ever saying my actual name to me.
Right now, none of that matters. I want to know why you told Abigail about everything. Because of you, something major is happening that's going to really screw things up for me.
Huh? Why are you blaming me for your BS now? I wasn't the one texting me about how I needed to hurry up and get out of the mansion. So I had to teach her everything that was actually going on since someone else forgot to. It's your fault for not telling her the truth about yourself sooner, right?
I have no reason to be telling her things like that, though. She was looking forward to moving into a mansion this whole time. She'd go out every day and buy furniture that she thought would look good in the place. We talked for days and days about how we'd have the mansion set up and decorated. Yet during all her excitement, you went and told her you took the house and sold it.
I also made sure to tell her about your failing business. I'm sure she'd want to run away from a CEO who's in debt by millions and soon won't even have a company anymore.
Seriously? Why would you do this to me? She's running around right now, getting all her things together to leave me. And she's getting ready to go out that door. It's only a matter of time. If this really does spell the end for us being a couple, it will be all your fault.
I don't give a crap, you jackass. This is what you get for fooling around with other women when you were supposed to focus on your company. And let's be honest, you only have one chance to get her to like you again, and that's by fixing your company's situation and making all that money back.
But all of that's your fault. You were the one that allowed my employees to leave the company without ever telling me. I went back into the office for the first time this year. There are only 2 people in there working.
And if you were to put a bit of effort into it and get that company back on its feet, then more people would want to work for you again. This is your time to show that you are a competent CEO. You're going to have to start stepping up your game if you want to impress those cute young women around you. Hey, Jenny, you are the worst. You give me the money from the mansion you sold right now. Jesus frickin' Christ. The only reason I married Sasha is because I thought he'd be this super rich, good-looking CEO that I could ride on. But to learn that he's in terrible debt, he scammed me. He said there'd be a mansion for me and everything, but all of it's nowhere to be found. So I'm going to divorce him now and get the money I deserve from him. I was lied to and made the victim here, so I have the right to his money. That's true. He sure did lie to you about how he had all this money in his savings and everything. I can't say you're wrong for saying that he scammed you. I totally understand why you want to get a settlement from him. I'm sure you do. I have the right to get money because of all this. But you shouldn't be asking for that money from me. I think you're very wrong asking me for my money. Huh? How the hell am I supposed to get money from someone who doesn't have any? He doesn't have a house, a car, or any money now. So I would like you to give me some of that money you received for selling the mansion. So after stealing my husband, you want to take my money? You really are a bold little frick, aren't you? Shut up and just give me the money. You all are the worst people ever. I never thought that Sasha was that kind of horrible man. I even ended up ending the lease on my apartment thinking that I'd be moving into a huge house with him. Oh, you ended your lease? Well, then the both of you are more similar than I thought. You both now live homeless with no money to spare. I am not going to listen to you talking to me like that. Well, then turn off your phone. I'm telling you right now that I am nothing like him because I still have money. I did end up quitting my job, though, thinking I'd have myself a sugar daddy. But before I quit, I was working all the time and saving up. Wow, so you are a bit more serious about yourself than I thought. I happen to have $30,000 right now. It's amazing for someone in their early 20s to have that kind of money in savings, right? That is pretty amazing. But all that money is going to be coming to me now, right? So in the end, you and Sasha are very much alike. You both won't have a house or any money. What? I have to pay you? I still haven't gotten any money from you yet in that settlement. It was all your fault that my life with my husband ended up falling apart, right? So you're going to have to be responsible for what you've done. What? I'm sorry for making you get on your high horse there, bragging about your money. I really didn't know you had that kind of money on you. But it sure does make me feel happy knowing you do indeed have the money for me. I might not be getting the full amount I was going to ask for from you, but $30,000 will do. You're lying. Wait a sec. You already got money from both the house you sold and his pocket change, right? Yet you still want more money? That money was from Sasha, and I still would like my share from you. You both have to be responsible for your screw-ups. No way, that's not okay. I already got rid of my apartment, I don't have a job anymore, and now you're going to steal all of my savings? I'm not stealing anything from you. I just happen to have the right to your money is all. Now I would like you to start getting that money in order for when my lawyer contacts you. I was nice in letting you have my husband, right? So as a thank you for that, I'd like you to send me a present. Right after that, I went and spoke to my lawyer, letting him know that Abigail did indeed have the money for me and that I'd like $30,000 from her. I got a call soon after from her, screaming and crying in my ear, so I handed the phone over to my lawyer and let him have a word with her. And after a few hours, in one large transfer, I got all the money I had asked for. According to some rumors I've heard, Sasha was not going to let Abigail get away in a divorce, and made sure to drag him into his horrible situation of having to try and save his dead company. But in the end, those last two employees of his quit, and the company was just left to those two. However, even with all the effort they put into trying to keep things going, they only sank deeper and deeper into the red. As of right now, I've heard that those two are still trying to fix things, but in order to do so, they have both had to stay in that office 24 hours a day, and are pretty much making it their home. When it comes to myself, I've taken all the money from both settlements and the house I sold and started a business of my own. I learned through Sasha's company that I was actually quite good at managing a business and thought this would be the perfect next step for me. I've already started hiring some of the people that used to work for Sasha, and I feel if things go well for me this year, I can start to live life as a CEO myself.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey Grace, are you there? I heard that your date last night didn't go well, did it? What is this now, the 10th guy that you've gone through? You're already 36 years old and you've never ever been in a serious relationship? Don't you think that's just a bit pathetic?
Excuse me? And just what is pathetic about wanting to take my time and make sure that I found the right person, huh?
I just mean that if you wait too long or act too picky, that no one is ever going to want to marry you. You really should just lower your standards and get married already. It would make things so much easier for you. Because you know that as you get older, it's going to get harder and harder to get people to think you're attractive.
I don't really care what other people think of me. Besides, I'm in no huge rush to try and get married right away. Besides, the person that I would want to marry wouldn't care about my age or how I look. In fact, it's been Mom this whole time who's been setting up these blind dates for me, but I never even asked her to.
Well, if Mom didn't do it for you, then who would? Although you'd probably rather date one of those dumb men from the romance novels that you read. You're such a loser. Do you know that? When are you going to get real? You realize that the written word isn't any kind of substitution for a real flesh and blood husband, right?
Literally, what are you even talking about right now?
Oh, please. I already know all about it from Mom. She tells me that you spend so much of your free time with your nose buried in a bunch of romance books. But you're almost 40 years old. It's time for you to put the books down and try experiencing life for once. If you don't do that, then people might start to think that you're some kind of creep or something. Don't you want to be happily married?
I am sorry, but Mom has no right to judge me for wanting to read books when all she does is watch TV all day. As for getting married, when the right person comes along, I'll know and then we'll marry.
You really think that the perfect man is just going to walk right up to you, get on one knee, and propose to you right then and there? No, I know that you really have been reading too many of those romance novels. But do you really actually believe that at your age? I mean, do you think that's how dating works in the real world? Especially at your age?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? How stupid do you really think I am?
I don't think you're stupid. More just in denial and jealous of how much more successful my love life has been. After all, while I was getting married at 20, you were still lying to us about that made-up boyfriend that you had, remember? Now that was a new low for you. But it also was just so funny how pathetic it was.
It wasn't a made-up boyfriend, Sally. He was real.
Yeah, sure. It wasn't just someone that you came up with because I was getting married that year. And how could you not be jealous when my husband is so handsome and sweet and makes a ton of money on top of that? I mean, I'm sure you've seen my vlogging about just how amazing our lives together are. You are seeing all my posts about my life, aren't you?
No, actually, I haven't really checked out all your social media pages at all.
Wait, what? What do you mean? You have to go and look. I post something just about every single day. Like the other day, I was posting all about the new Porsche that my husband bought, and I included this in the caption, so you would know if you were following me. But it cost around $1 million.
Wow, your husband really bought a Porsche? I guess he must be doing really well at work then, huh?
Well, I can't really say that I'm all surprised, given I know just how brilliant he really is. Maybe it's time you admit that you have a couple of things that you would learn from me about how to find a husband. After all, we're only young in our lives once, and once it's gone, that's it. So maybe you should put just a little bit more work into finding a husband while you still have your youth. If you don't, then I can guarantee you now that you're going to end up old and lonely.
Well, thank you so much for all your well-meant concerns about me, Sally. But I want you to know that even when I am old, I would still rather be old and have stuck to my principles than unhappily married for several decades.
Oh, sorry. I should have been more clear. I'm not really worried about you at all. I'm really only concerned for Mom and Dad's sake. I mean, don't you feel bad for the two of them? Obviously, they thought you were going to be the first to move out, but you're still living with them. Don't you know how badly they want you out of the house already? You're nothing but a leech to them.
Are you seriously saying that I'm just leeching off of Mom and Dad? You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you?
Well, am I lying? If you think that I am, why don't you go and talk to Mom about this? Because she told me that she is sick and tired of having you at home. Both of our parents see it clear as day, the scam that you're trying to run on them. They call and text me every day just talking about how much they'd wish you'd just leave them alone already.
Is this supposed to be some kind of cruel joke or something like that? You really think that I'm going to believe a word that you're saying?
But everything I'm saying is true. All you do is use up Mom and Dad's money. And then you have the gall to try and tell me I'm wrong when you can't even take care of yourself. You know, Mom was actually crying to me over the phone the other day. She told me that thanks to you, she doesn't even have any money to buy clothes for herself.
Oh, come on, that is just ridiculous.
It's totally true that you just take all of Mom and Dad's money and just use it on yourself, right? And meanwhile, you make Mom and Dad take care of the house and do all of the cleaning while you go out partying all night. Although I can't imagine what it actually is that you're doing since you don't even have a boyfriend.
You have got some serious nerve talking to me like this, do you know that? And has Mom really said all of these things to you? Because I don't know if I believe that.
Well, I don't care what you believe because I already know that you're just awful. You do nothing to help out our parents while you live in their house and use them for their money. You're going to leave them penniless and make sure that every last cent of their savings has somehow been spent on you. You're the one that has some serious nerve treating your own family that way. Do you know that? Because you're nothing but a pathetic old maid who nobody is ever going to love. That's why you have to take out your frustrations on Mom and Dad, isn't it?
I can't believe that you are actually sending me messages like that. You are taking this way too far right now.
I can't believe that you still won't own up to the truth. Maybe this is why you can never find someone to date you. You just refuse to acknowledge any kind of truth.
Mom, are you there? I think you and I need to have a little chat right now. Do you really think of me as some kind of leech on you and Dad? Because I think we both know that that is just a bit ridiculous.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Where is this coming from all of a sudden?
I am talking about all the things that I just heard from Sally. She told me all about the conversations you two have about me behind my back. Do you really think that I'm just after yours and Dad's money? And that I forced you two to take care of the house while I go out all the time? Because I think we both know that I have never done that, even once.
Grace, dear, what on earth are you talking about? You're always the one who is taking care of the house, and I've never said anything to the contrary. I think that your sister is just jealous of living so far away from us, so she's resorted to making up horrible lies about you.
Because I just want to make it clear now that the only financial role I play for you and Dad is helping Dad pay down his credit card debt. I have been working so hard for a year to try and repair his credit score and lessen the debt that he has. That's the only way that I control your money.
I know. And you have to know how grateful your father and I are for that. It's been such a relief seeing some actual money go into our savings account for once. We had been living in the red for so long before then.
I know, and there was no way that your retirement money was going to be enough for the kind of help that you two needed. That's why I've been helping you guys by giving you money every month. It was so that you could focus on paying down your debt.
Of course we all know that's true. In fact, the only reason why your father and I can't spend money how we used to is because you're insisting that we save so much.
Well, so then why did Sally think that I was putting all of the housework on you and Dad? Because I thought we agreed that if I paid for all of the utilities at home, that you and Dad said you would handle the housework. You told me that you would agree to doing it if I paid you $1,500 a month, remember?
I know, but I thought I told you that we need to raise that up to $3,000 a month or else it just wasn't going to cut it. But you told me, remember? You said that you know $1,500 would be enough for me. So basically, you denied your mom more money and still expect her to take care of the house. I don't think I'm being unfair in describing that if you basically forcing your dad to clean the house for peanuts.
I'm sorry, but I just don't see why you would need that much money given that I'm already paying for so much around here.
Because I have expenses that I need to cover as well, okay? And I don't need you making a big deal about the price. Did you know that last month I went through all the money you gave me just on food alone?
You only spent it all on food because you and Dad used it to treat yourselves to eating out all the time. And when you would cook at home, you went to the most expensive grocery stores for your ingredients. I'm sorry, but if you don't know how to spend your money wisely, that isn't my fault. You and Dad need to realize that the family business is not bringing in the money that it used to, and you two need to learn how to save for your futures.
But it isn't fair! I hate that cheap supermarket near our house. It's clear that everyone who shops there is so poor, and I stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, it's either learn how to spend your money wisely or go into debt again, okay? You do realize that when I get married, I'm going to move out of the house, and that means I'm going to be paying for a lot less. So that's why I'm trying to help you and Dad get your finances in order before that happens. Can't you see that it's for the good of you two that I'm doing this?
Oh, really? You have got some nerve pretending like you're doing this all from the good of your heart. And just what is this talk about you getting married when you don't even have a boyfriend? I wish that you would get married just so that you could finally leave us alone.
You don't really mean that, do you? Is that really what you want to happen?
It doesn't matter since you don't even have a man who could ask you to marry him. Although it isn't like I haven't tried setting you up with countless good-looking young men. Do you have any idea how hard it was to arrange some of those dates for you? If anything, I should be getting more money from you just for doing that service. Besides, at least if you did get married to someone, then between your two incomes, you could easily afford to give me $3,000 a month.
I really don't know what to say to that. Here I was thinking that you were just concerned about me. But now you come out and say that this whole thing was just a way for you to try and get more money from me?
Of course this is about the money. You've been living at home with your father and I for far too long now. Why else do you think I've been trying so hard to find someone you can marry? I want you to get out there, marry some rich guy, and make sure that your dad and I get a kickback.
Mom, I don't even want to have this conversation with you anymore. I'm going to marry someone for love, and that's it. And when I do marry, you and Dad aren't going to see another penny from me. Do you understand? Now I need to go and calm down and think about things. Sally, are you there? Please, you need to get back to me right away. Have you been in contact with Mom and Dad lately? I just got back from work and neither of them are home. Do you have any idea where they might be? Even all their things are gone. The house is practically empty. Do you have any idea what might be going on here?
Oh, I think I have a very good idea. After all, Mom and Dad are sitting right here next to me. And they are both just so happy about how much they were able to sell the house for. So, the three of us are all together to celebrate a job well done on our part.
Wait a second, what do you mean they sold the house? I don't understand.
Well, the house is empty. You said so yourself, right? And the reason is because Mom and Dad decided to sell the house and the land it was on. Which means that you might want to start packing up your bags and getting ready to leave too. Because you certainly won't be able to stay there much longer.
Wait a second, are you serious? Did Mom and Dad seriously try and sell that house? When did this happen? Why wasn't I told about this at all until now? I mean, I can't just come home to the news that the house is gone. That isn't fair.
Aw, yeah. I guess this means that you'll have to find another place to live right away, huh? Sucks for you, ha ha ha. But then again, this is what you get for being such a little leech on Mom and Dad until now. You don't deserve to stay with them. So I say that this is what you get.
You still really think that I've been leeching off Mom and Dad this whole time?
I don't think, I know. I know that you're almost 40 and you're still expecting your Mom and Dad to take care of you. Well, I'm glad that Mom and Dad finally wised up to what you were doing to them. I talked to Mom and she told me that she would much rather live with us rather than you. That's why we kept this a secret from you. But now the house is sold and there's nothing you can do about it.
So then Mom and Dad are going to be moving in with you and your family instead?
That's right. And you're going to be left out in the cold with no one to take care of you anymore. Mom and Dad knew this was the only way to get you to stand on your own 2 feet and finally find yourself a man.
I don't believe it. I never would have guessed in a million years that Mom and Dad would have done this to me. And I'm even surprised about your husband. You two haven't even been married that long, but he's going along with this?
He was more than happy to let Mom and Dad come and live with us, actually. Now I'm going to take care of Mom and Dad and make sure I get all the inheritance.
What inheritance are you talking about? There is nothing left if they sold the house. After all, Dad's business is more of a liability than an asset right now.
Well, I'll still get the money that they got from the house. Besides, I would be more concerned about finding out where you're going to live.
Oh, I'm not worried about that at all. If Mom and Dad sold their house, I'll just go and live with my boyfriend.
Is that your way of saying you're going to try and make a little hut for yourself out of all your romance novels? Too bad the men from those books aren't real. No one's going to come and save you now.
No, I meant I'll just go and live with my flesh and blood boyfriend. But anyways, enjoy ruining your marriage by living with Mom and Dad. Hope that goes well for you. After all, if you're taking care of them, that just means that it'll be up to you to help with their debt now.
Their debt? What do you mean by that? I thought Dad was able to sell his company for a ton of money.
I don't know where you got that information from, but Dad did not sell his company. In fact, it's on the brink of bankruptcy, actually. Mom and Dad were both going into so much debt just to keep the business afloat.
No, that can't be right. I mean, Mom told me that it was a huge sale. She told me that her and Dad were going to be set for life.
I see. So it was Mom who gave you the bad information. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I'm only telling you the truth. In fact, this has been a problem with them for a while. They both just never could wrap their heads around making less money. And their spending habits only worsened because of that. They ended up in a cycle of taking out new loans to pay back their old ones.
I don't believe this. Why didn't I know any of this? This is crazy.
Well, one of the reasons why I stayed with Mom and Dad so long was because I was helping them restructure their finances. If anything, I'm just glad that it's not my problem anymore.
But then if all they really have is debt, that means that I'm not going to get any money from them at all.
Yeah, but at least you have your Porsche-buying husband to help you out with that. Don't worry, I'm sure that all of you will be able to figure this out and get along with each other, right? In the end, Sally did end up sticking to her word and let Mom and Dad move in with her and her husband. A part of me hoped that living together would have pushed them towards humility, but instead it just brought out the worst in them. Now it wasn't just Sally, but even my mom who was posting pictures of social media of her showing off the fancy house, car, and everything else that Sally and her husband owned. But it wasn't long before commenters on their posts were accusing them of leading a fake rich lifestyle that was all just for show. This all came to light when it was discovered that between all of them, they had well over $100,000 in debt. The last I heard, Sally's home was being repossessed and they all had to move into a cramped apartment together so they could all focus on their debt. Of course, how well that's going in practice is a whole nother question.
Mom, I'm going to be getting married soon. I plan to hand in our marriage papers real soon with the guy I've been dating.
Wait, you're getting married? And since when have you been going out with anyone, Misty?
You know better than to say something like that. I'm old enough now to where I have to have a man by my side. And the man I've been dating is the same age as me, and he's a very cool-looking guy.
Well, congrats on finding a man to marry, Misty. I have always been wondering when the day would come that you'd be getting married. But now to actually hear from you that you are, I can't help but think about what's next. When are you handing in those marriage papers? And do you plan to have a wedding for everyone to come see you guys at?
We plan to go to the city office very soon here. And the wedding will be happening sometime this year, we hope.
Well, being your mom, Misty, I've been dreaming of seeing you in a wedding dress. And so as your mom, I've done everything I could to raise you without a father here to help, and I'm so excited to hear that my dreams will finally come true. I'll try my best to support you with anything you need, even if I can't offer much, but I'll do everything to get you as nice of a wedding as you want. Before I do anything else, though, I'd really like to meet your soon-to-be husband. At this point, I really need to know who the man is, and that's why I need to see him before we begin preparing.
You don't have to worry about meeting him. I'm not planning on having him come back to your place anytime in the future.
Huh?
You actually think I'd bring him to that rundown shack you're living in? And I already told him that you don't really care to see him much, and that there's no need in him going out to see you. You should just be happy that I'm allowing you to come to my wedding, and then after that, you can leave the two of us alone.
Wait a second, Misty. What are you talking about? I get that this place is pretty old and has seen better days, but I've made sure to keep it clean and safe. And can you tell me why you think I don't care to see him? Why would you tell him a lie like that?
Huh? Well, what about that was a lie? I'm not really sure what you think about me right now, but I actually hate you a lot, Mom. And I feel that you won't need to waste your time seeing my man. And so that's why I've told him that you don't want to see him, because I don't want you seeing him. So it's not really a lie, right?
What?
To tell you the truth, I didn't even want to tell you about us getting married or about having you come to the wedding. But he did tell me that that was going a bit too far and that I needed to at least allow you the joy of seeing us marry. And that's why I'm allowing you to come even though I hate your guts. And that should be enough for you to be thanking me right now, right?
Wait, though, Misty. Why are you acting like this now? What happened to you? What do you mean you hate your own mom's guts? What did I do to you that caused you to start thinking that way? Because I thought that I was doing a good job of showing you how much I care about you. Why do you hate me so much?
Shut the hell up, you old hag! You don't have the right to celebrate me now. It's because of you bringing me into a poor household without a father that I've been living such a troubled life. And a mother that thinks it's okay to raise her daughter like that deserves to be hated.
Excuse me?
All right. When you come to my wedding, don't you dare say a single word to anyone. I don't want to have to lose my wedding because you decided to talk without me allowing you to. And when it comes to my fiancé and his family, you don't have to bother yourself with trying to find them and talk to them. I just want you to sit there and shut up while I have my special day.
Hey, really, hold on for just a second. What has actually happened to you? I have no idea why you think that's a good reason to hate me so much. And what do you mean, a poor household? What about our family has been without enough money to live a good life? And just because I'm a single mother doesn't mean that I've troubled you in any way, or at least I didn't mean to.
Seriously? You have no right saying that to me after not allowing me to go overseas for school. And when it comes to wanting to go on trips to Hawaii with you, you never bothered taking me. In other words, you never gave a crap about me.
Huh? What trips to Hawaii? And when you say overseas for school, since when were you ever asking me about stuff like that?
My man told me all about this stuff. He said to me that there's no other reason for it besides you being poor, that I couldn't go overseas for school or to places like Hawaii on vacation.
Huh?
The man that I'm planning on marrying, he's super rich and from a family of rich people. From what he's told me, his parents run a very well-known company, and in a little while longer, he's expected to take over that company.
Wow, is that so?
At the moment, he's working for another company, learning about how to run a company of his own and the economics of it all. And it was at that company that him and I met and started to date. But starting to date a man like him made every day hell for me. I just knew that he would judge me all the time because I've had to grow up in a poor household with just you as a parent.
Huh?
I bet he still judges me for it, Mom. Unlike me, when he was in high school, he was allowed to go study abroad for school. And when it comes to where his family took him on vacation, it'd be places like Bali and Hawaii. Unlike his family, mine has been such an embarrassing mess that it's driven me crazy having to think about you being my mom.
Well, when you compare any other family to a family such as his, they will all look as though they don't have much money. But I'm telling you that we have had it lucky being able to live in such a decent house. And to tell you another thing, I've worked my butt off to make sure that we had the money to live a happy life here. Even though it was impossible for us to go to Hawaii, I still made sure to take you to all sorts of cool places closer to our house. And on your birthdays, I made sure to get you everything you ever asked me for, right?
And what about that means we have been living a happy life? His family goes to all sorts of cool places close to his house every month. And on his birthdays, he gets to have his own private chef come in and make him anything he asks for right in front of his eyes. When you compare our family to that, we are the lowest of the low and considered piss poor. And you yourself are a piss poor excuse for a mother.
What?
If I could have at least had a father, I'm sure that he would have done enough to stop us from being so poor and made sure that we could take more vacations to places like Hawaii. But it's because you divorced him when I was so young that I've had to live with you all by myself and never experienced anything besides troubles.
It's the other way around, Misty. If your father was still around, you would have had to suffer a lot more than you think you have, Ben. The whole reason for the divorce was to protect you.
Seriously?
Your father was a heavy gambler and would use up all our money to try and win it big. He was the kind of man that would spend every last penny on slot machines, even when it meant us not being able to buy fresh food for a whole month. So to protect you from a man like that, I left him. If it wasn't for me making that difficult choice to save you, then who knows what kind of horrible life we'd be living in right now.
Stop trying to lie about my father like that. If you'd never forced that divorce when I was so young, then we could be living a wonderful life right now. I know right now that Dad is a way better person than you are and is very successful.
What?
Did you think that after he was forced to leave us, he'd just stop trying to talk to his daughter? Well, I'll lay it out for you. Right now, my father is an owner of his own business. His company isn't as amazing as my fiance's, but it's still a whole lot better than the company you own.
That man has his own business? And another thing, how do you know that he has his own business? Have you actually been talking with him again recently?
When it comes to business owners, they all happen to know one another pretty well. And so somewhere in there, they heard about how I've been dating the son of a CEO, and the news spread along to Dad. And that's why one day I got a message from Dad talking about his life.
Don't tell me that you've started to see him in person as well, right?
Dad is such a perfect father. He was even kind enough to bring me to such a fancy restaurant that they had a dress code in place. He ordered all our food like he knew every detail about the dishes, and he was even kind enough to give me a present. Unlike you, he's the best parent a girl could ask for.
That man did all that for you?
Stop trying to make him look bad because of his past. Everyone has to go through a point in their life where they become addicted to gambling. Normally, as his wife, you should have helped him get over that low in his life. But instead, you selfishly divorced him and made him deal with all that pain on his own. If it wasn't for you being such a selfish hag, then my life would be so much better now. Heck, you could have at least let me go see him every other week after the divorce, and I could have had access to all his money. It's all your fault that my life sucked so much.
Are you kidding me?
If you understand now why I hate you so much, shut the hell up and be quiet when it comes time for my wedding.
Misty, wait a second. What the heck was that whole speech about just then? What you said in front of everyone? Why would you ever read a letter like that to me in front of everyone saying that you want to cut ties to me?
I'm happy to see that you obeyed the promise we made and stayed quiet the whole time. But what you heard today from me was true, and that's why we are done here. After today, you and I are no longer mother and daughter.
All of that was not a good enough reason to want to leave me, though. I get what you were saying to me before as reason for wanting to hate me, but cutting ties to me because of all that? And saying that to me in front of everyone at your wedding?
What's so wrong with that? I was just telling everyone the facts about you. I told them that you didn't let me study abroad, which left me without a perfect education, and told them that while everyone was out having a great time with their families, you'd made me work a part-time job. And when it came to the money I made from a part-time job, you made me give it all to you. I also enjoyed finishing that speech off by saying that life with you has been hell and I want it to end. Now everyone is on my side and asking for things between us to be over for good.
Huh?
After having to hear all of that from me in front of everyone at my wedding, that should be enough to get you to give up on me, right? And even if that isn't enough to get you to leave me, everyone hates you now. So you have no other choice.
And those are your reasons for giving such a cruel speech about me in front of everyone? You must have no idea the amount I have sacrificed for you. Because all I saw from you today was you making up a bunch of events to make it seem as though you were the only one suffering.
Huh?
You never even once told me that you wanted to study abroad or anything like that when you were in school. And from what I remember, your scores in school were too low anyway for them to give you permission to go study overseas.
And my scores were low because you made me work part-time. You made me work after school every day because you didn't have enough money for us, and it's because of me having to work all evening that I never had time to study.
You're wrong, Misty. The only reason you had to work a part-time job was because every month you'd spend around $5,000 on online games. I told you plenty of times to stop spending all that on your phone, but you never listened. And that's why, to make up for all that money you kept spending, I had you work. You are pretty much an adult anyway when you're in high school, so you should know better than to be spending that much of my money on your phone. You needed to learn that you have to earn the money you want to spend on entertainment. If it wasn't for me forcing you to start working a little to make up for all that money lost, then we actually wouldn't have had enough money to live decent lives.
No matter what the reason was for that, you forced me to work and took all the money I made. Normal families would have been fine with me spending that much money on things that made me happy. But instead, my mom didn't even bother to let me have my fun, instead threatening me by saying that we wouldn't have enough money for food because of my spending habits. And when I told Dad about all of this, he said you treated me like an animal. He said that had he been around when I was spending that much, he would have continued to pay for everything for me.
You're back to talking about that man?
Well, whatever. Just know that after today, you and I are done. I struck out terribly having to be raised by a failure like you. Well, now I'm not going to stick around for when you get old and need my help. And you can kiss seeing me ever again goodbye.
Are you really okay with that?
You know for a dang fact that I am, you old hag. All you are to me now is a waste of mental space.
Calling your only parent a waste of mental space, huh?
I still have Dad around to care for me when I need it. So I'd much rather have my mind thinking about him over you. Even tomorrow, he's willing to come to town to let me see him again, and we promised that. He said he wants to come and celebrate my marriage as well. I wonder what kind of gift he's gotten me this time. Maybe a brand new car.
Either that or he'll be handing you an IOU. He must know by now that you're married to a very wealthy man and will be coming to get his hands on some of the money.
Huh?
For a man that never paid any of his daughter's child support, it's pretty brave of him to come back to see you again. Tell him that I said that when he comes to see you tomorrow.
Hold on 1 second, Mom. Why would Dad ever come to me to hand me an IOU? And wanting to borrow money from me? No way. Right now, Dad is a CEO himself and can afford anything he wants.
I'm sure that he's some kind of CEO. Now I'm going to listen to what you've said and make sure that I never come around you ever again. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your life.
Mom, come help me. When I went to go meet with Dad, he had a really scary dude with him. And he didn't even introduce himself to me before he started to yell to me about why Dad has borrowed so much money from him. That scary dude told me that Dad is over $200,000 in debt with him, and that he needs that money back right now. He even told me that I'm going to be the one to pay it back since Dad has nothing.
Oh my. Seems that gift Dad was bringing you for your wedding turned out to be a bluff. I'm surprised to hear that even Dad thinks a gift like that is okay to give to a young wife.
How the hell is something like this a gift? And actually, what the hell does he mean Dad owes him over $200,000? What the hell was Dad doing to get here?
I'm pretty sure that the scary dude explained that to you when he was telling you everything else, right?
He's so scary that most of what he said didn't even enter my ears. I freaked out so much before he could even finish that I ran to a public bathroom nearby and am currently hiding in it. Can you tell me what the actual hell is going on right now?
Even if I tried my best to explain, I've only heard rumors about your dad. From those rumors, though, it's thought that your dad runs a pretty risky business. Apparently, his company sells commodities at extremely high prices to people that need them desperately, which forces them to end up paying. At first, a company like that will make bank, forcing its customers to pay that much, but the company won't last long. And from other things I've heard, his company is currently going bankrupt. And that's probably what led to him having to borrow a lot of money trying to save his skin.
You have to be lying, right? How could all that be true when only recently he took me to that really nice restaurant with him, and he was able to give me such a high-brand present? Could he really afford all that for me when his company is going under?
Well, when you stop to really think about all of this, his timing for coming back to talk to you is a little too spot on. The moment he learned about you marrying the son of a CEO, he started to get back in touch with you again. I'm sure that his only goal in getting close to you was to get that money.
What am I going to do, Mom? I really want to run away from here right now. Can you come out here and help me get away?
I'm sorry, Misty. We made it pretty clear yesterday that neither one of us would ever be seeing one another again, right? So I won't be able to come save you. Therefore, you'll need to figure something out for yourself.
What?
You told me that you ended up with me as the worst parent, right? But don't you worry, as you have yourself a wonderful husband now with all that money. I'm sure that you can just go and ask him to pay off your dad's debts, right? Or, if the man is as scary as you say, you can just get a lawyer to go and deal with him for you from your husband.
And I normally would want to go ask my husband to help me out here, but right now is not the best time to be doing that. I just got a message from my husband only a few seconds ago, and he told me that he wants the two of us to get divorced already.
Huh? He wants a divorce now? Didn't you guys just have your wedding yesterday?
And yesterday I gave that speech saying that I wanted to cut ties with you, right? Well, apparently his parents and him weren't too happy to hear that from me, and so they went ahead and looked into me a bit more to see if I really was living a life in hell with you. And when they did that, they started to learn about my poor grades in school and about how I had spent so much money on my games. And after learning all that, my husband told me that you were nothing more than an average mother to me, and that the hell I was living in was my own fault.
My oh my. It's crazy to think that right after you learned about your father's debt and how he needs you to pay it off, your husband is ready for a divorce. This must really be a tough spot for you.
Please, Mom, come help me. I don't want to have to pay over $200,000 to that scary dude, and I don't want to get divorced.
Well, you can tell me that all you want, but I can't do anything for you. You told me that you wanted to cut ties to me, right? So stop trying to take all you said to me back now just because you need my help again.
I believe that we met for a brief second yesterday, but this is your son-in-law's mother, Daisy. Nice to have met you.
Nice to have met you as well. But as you heard yesterday, I'm no longer really your son's mother-in-law anymore after my daughter cut ties to me.
And about that, I think what your daughter did was just tragic. After taking the time to look into you guys a bit more, we learned that you actually didn't do anything wrong whatsoever to her. Yet for some reason, she believes she can talk about you in such a nasty tongue?
I just heard about a lot of this from her a little bit ago. And from what she was saying, your son is planning to divorce her?
I'm sorry that my son is asking for something so depressing as divorce just after the two of them had their wedding. But after hearing about the way she spoke about you, even though her past was her responsibility, we have no patience in waiting around for her to grow up. I hope you can understand that.
I do understand why your son wants the divorce. Misty did all of this to herself, so she really does need to learn, one way or another, not to act like a spoiled brat. But I wonder why, after hearing her give that speech, you guys chose to look into her. I really thought that everyone at the wedding would believe what she was saying and be on her side.
Well, you and I are both mothers, right? I understand the troubles of having to raise a daughter and that it must be way more difficult when you have to do it alone. There is also one other thing that I never mentioned to Misty. That's that her father used to cause me a lot of headache in the past.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, right after Misty and my son got engaged, a man with the same last name as her came to our house looking for her. When he showed up, he told me that we had to make sure that his daughter became my son's wife. And once he told me that, he handed me an envelope full of cash as a payment in advance for getting our son to stay with your daughter.
You're lying. That man actually went ahead and did all of that to you?
Of course, I told him I didn't want his money. And I wasn't going to try and stop my son from marrying Misty or anything. But when I told him that I didn't want his money, he told me that it was actually to pay for us to later take good care of him after Misty became a part of the family. However, after hearing that speech from Misty at her wedding, the three of us all lost our love for Misty at that moment, knowing that she'd be nothing but trouble like her father.
So that's what ended up happening. I don't even know how to apologize for the troubles my daughter and ex have caused.
You don't have to apologize for anything. At this point, we are going to be saying goodbye to her as our daughter-in-law, and she already cut ties to you. So she's just a stranger at this point to all of us. If anything, think of this as a way of completely saying goodbye to those two. You are finally free from them, and should look forward to a life of relaxation from now on.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Just hearing that from you now has lifted a lot of weight off my back.
What am I going to do, Mom? He actually left me like he said he would. And when I tried to get them to listen to me, they wouldn't have it and told me to go away. They told me that they won't be allowing anyone into their family that they can't trust. And that they won't allow me to be their son's wife when all I do is complain and ask for help from them. His parents and him have already filed the divorce, and there's nothing I can do now.
And so from now on, you're completely alone. Must hurt knowing that they left you like you left me.
You don't have to say something like that to me now. Just come here and get me. I already tried once to get back into your house, but you never came out to get me. Why not? Hurry up and unlock the door so I have a place to sleep tonight. Stop trying to bully me and open the dang door.
Oh, for goodness sake, you went back to that old house? I'm sorry, but I've already moved out of there. So I'm no longer in that house anymore.
Huh? You moved out?
Well, you were the one that cut ties to me, right? And since I didn't have a daughter anymore, I was in that place all by myself. But even though I was alone, there were still a lot of memories of us trapped in that place that haunted me. So I did my best to forget about you, and that meant getting out of there. And just like that, I'm now having a great time living on my own.
If you were going to do something like that, you should have told me sooner. I'm going to come to your new place now, so tell me the address.
Huh? Why would I tell some crazy stranger the address to my new house? I don't want you back in my life, and especially not back living with me.
Huh?
You and I are no longer family anymore, so this is acceptable to think, right? You are no longer my daughter, just a stranger now. So I'm not telling you a thing about my new life besides that it has nothing to do with you.
Well, wait, Mom? I just lost my husband and now have no place to go to anymore. Your cute little girl is in need of some help right now, and you're not going to come save her?
I already told you that I don't have a daughter anymore. But you do have a father around you still, right? And he's entrusted you with paying off his $200,000 debt, so there must be something between you both, right? The fact that he's made it this far with that kind of debt means he'd be the perfect person for you to ask for some help from. Having a man like him around to father you again after being through the worst of it himself would be the perfect thing for you.
There's nothing perfect about any of that. All he's been trying to do is get me wrapped up in his awful life.
But even after all the years I spent raising you, you chose to keep him as your father while throwing me away, right? So you can have a great life with him now, Misty. I've got to get back to living my wonderful life as a single woman now, and I hope things go well for you soon, just like me. After that, Misty started to freak out, worrying about how her dad's debt would soon affect her, and even quit her job to run and hide. But no matter where she tried to run and hide, my ex seemed to still be hot on her trail. And when he did finally catch her, he started to call her a failure for not being able to stay married to the man that had all that money, and forced her to start working for him. Now, not only was Misty forced to start working for her dad to help him make money, but her friends started to find out as well about the debt. And not just the debt, but about the divorce as well, and began to spread rumors about her. And soon those rumors began to pick up pace and spread like wildfire. As for what's happened with me after all of this, I've just been living the good life as a single, middle-aged woman. I had to sacrifice a lot of my life raising Misty all by myself for a long time, but comparing the life I had raising her, my life all alone now is 10 times better.
Megan, it's been such a long time since we last talked. Well, today I have something I'd like to ask you. Do you think you can call me?
Huh? Anita? It's been so long. I think the last time we saw one another was at that high school reunion a while back. Anyways, as for calling you, I'm on the road right now and can't call you to talk right now, but we can text one another still. Does that work for you?
Well, I guess it'll have to do. It was maybe a year ago we had that high school reunion, right? Why didn't you tell me about everything clearly back then?
Tell you everything clearly? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb with me. At that time, you were trying to play things off around me.
I'm sorry, Anita, but I'm not seeing where this is supposed to be going.
I'm talking about when we had that after party after the reunion. I got a message from your boyfriend. And he was talking about how he had plans for you and him to go to a restaurant for your birthday and that he had already reserved you guys' seats. You know about that, right?
Well, now that you mention it, he did take me out for my birthday. And what about that?
That dinner was when he proposed to you and everything, right?
Well, yeah, he did end up proposing to me on my birthday at the dinner. But why do you know all about that?
Well, I wanted to hear it from you that you're going to be marrying him. I heard about this already, but need to confirm.
How did you hear about all of that when I haven't even sent out the invitations yet or anything about us getting married?
Can you stop acting like I don't have my ways? Don't tell me that back then when he was talking about the birthday plans he had for you that he was bragging about proposing to you on that day. I bet that he was doing that because you asked him to as a way of rubbing your man in my face.
Hold on for 1 second, Anita. Why do you think I sent my boyfriend back to you to rub all that in your face? I never meant for anything like that at the party. Actually, at the party, he was just wanting to talk about his plans for me with other people to get their take on it. And I'm sure that it may have just come off as him bragging or myself bragging because he was explaining how happy he was to finally have a chance to propose to me.
Well, you planned all that out to make me jealous.
Why do you think either of us would be bragging in the first place about our relationship? I don't have any reason to be bragging to you or anyone for that matter.
Stop it with all that crap, Megan! I know everything about you and that boyfriend of yours. You stole my fiancé from me, Megan.
Huh? I stole your fiancé? Wait, I have zero idea of what you're getting at now.
You really are so naive. After I learned that you had stolen my fiancé, you still didn't even bother to recognize that and apologize to me. I told you, right? I know more than you think, and that my situation is a lot more complex than you think.
Can you explain to me what you mean by me having stolen your fiancé? I didn't even know that you had been engaged to anyone at that time.
The man that you're planning to marry is the man that I was destined to marry first.
What? You're joking about that, right? Because I remember at the reunion that you said you had a boyfriend of your own and that he was not my boyfriend, right? I mean, he couldn't have been my boyfriend because I've been together with him for 3 years now.
And you stabbed me in the back 3 years ago, you two!
I stabbed you in the back? I am so lost right now. Are you sure that you're not mistaking me and my man for some other couple? Like, you might have the wrong person here.
There's no way I have the wrong person. I have proof that you're with my fiancé from someone that was there with all of you when you guys began planning out the wedding.
What does that mean?
My mom works at that wedding hall. She isn't the one in charge of preparing your wedding, though. Back in high school, you would come over to my house, right?
Was that back when we had that Halloween party at school and after your family let me come over and stay the night?
Yes, and my mom remembered your face from that night. And recently, when she saw you at the wedding hall, she told me that she saw one of my friends there with my fiancé preparing their wedding.
So you're telling me your mom is the one that's witnessed me with your fiancé?
That's right. He is supposed to be my fiancé, yet right now it seems he's going to be marrying you. Why? You give my fiancé back to me right now.
What are you talking about?
Your man is a doctor, right? He's one because the rest of his family is doctors, right? Well, I want to marry him because if I can become his wife, I'll never have to worry about money again. So give me back my happiness.
He is, in fact, a doctor. Are you sure? Are you sure that my fiancé is supposed to be getting married to you?
I know that you're the one that's wanting to steal everything that makes me happy. I am not going to let you get away with this.
Wait a second, though. Can we wait until after you've calmed down and talk about all of this again? I need to talk with my fiancé about all of this as well. Do you think we can all go out and talk about this face-to-face somewhere? Anita?
This is the first time I've ever had to be the one to contact anyone like this. Anyway, I am Anita's mother.
Hello? Is there any reason for why I'm getting contacted by you right now instead of Anita?
Well, because of the current situation at hand right now after you stole my daughter's fiancé from her, I have to be here to talk with you. I have something I'd like to ask of you, and that's why I decided to text you right away instead of let Anita handle everything.
Wait a moment. I never planned to steal Anita's fiancé. And to tell you the truth, I talked with him about Anita and her story, but he told me he doesn't know anything about her.
That's not the case, Megan. I saw you with him very clearly. I saw you with her fiancé when the two of you came to the wedding hall to start planning you guys' wedding out.
Her fiancé? Are you sure that my fiancé doesn't just look similar to hers?
No way. He's definitely her fiancé. I don't remember what his first name is, but that last name of his is pretty rare. So I remember that. And on the day that you came to the wedding hall with him, I was able to see his last name on all the paperwork you both signed.
What? Both myself and my fiancé have no idea what you both are going on about. And for a long time now, I haven't even known that Anita was engaged to anyone yet.
At first, her and her fiancé had broken off wanting to get married.
They broke off getting married?
Anita didn't want to do that, but after talking about marriage and proposing to her, her fiancé later told her he was no longer wanting it. And after that, he stopped talking to her.
You're saying that a little bit after proposing to her, her boyfriend took it back and then left her? Did she actually get proposed to?
She did not. Not in the traditional way, that is. Anita just knew it was implied that he wanted her to be his wife. But now, after learning about you being with him, we understand why after talking about marriage with Anita, he backtracked and then left her. Both Anita and I both knew something was up when he did that to her, and that it wasn't because he didn't like Anita, but for some other reason.
Huh?
I have a reason to think that, right? I know that I'm her mother, but she is such a beautiful woman, Anita. There's no way a man would be leaving someone like her without some far more terrifying reason behind it. But now that I know what that reason is, I'm finally at peace.
That reason?
The reason being that you stole her fiancé from her, and that's why he was forced to break things off and go to you.
I did not steal any man from her.
Do you think you can give up on playing this game with us so that Anita can go back to being my happy baby girl?
What do you mean, give up on playing this game? Are you telling me to give up on wanting to marry my fiancé?
Well, isn't it strange to you that my beautiful girl cannot get married, but you of all people can? That man is supposed to be getting married to my daughter, Megan. His family is all full of doctors, right? If she is able to get with him and become his wife, my whole family will no longer have to worry about money anymore.
Wait, please. I'll tell you again, my fiancé does not know a thing about Anita. It's been 3 years now since we first started going out with one another. In other words, I know my fiancé very well, and he would never lie to me about having anything to do with Anita. And he would never be the kind of man to have 2 different relationships going on at the same time.
And that's because you had your way with him, right? Also that he would stop having relations with my daughter.
Can you please allow me to see Anita in person and talk all of this through properly?
You want to meet with Anita? Right now, that girl has been through so much after being stabbed in the back by both her friend and her fiancé that she's not even willing to go to work anymore. So stop trying to ask anything else of my daughter after all you've done to her!
But if we don't talk this over, then she's going to keep believing something that isn't true. And that will only lead to things becoming far worse between us down the road.
The fact is, you stole my daughter's fiancé from her and left her behind to have your way with her happiness. That's the truth. And I know all that to be true because I saw you with him at the wedding hall. Can I ask that you please stop hurting my daughter any more than you have already?
I am not trying to hurt your daughter in any way, though.
You're going to leave your fiancé so that my daughter can be happy again, right? And then I'm going to change your name on the wedding registry over to Anita and have that wedding you're planning out given to her.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's not only her that wants to be married to that man, but I want that as well for her. If she can become his wife, then even I will no longer have to worry about things like money and can have an early retirement. My husband passed away early, and so I feel that I'll never be able to get out of my line of work. I'm getting tired of having to work in this place, helping others have a happy marriage when I'm the one that wants to be happy for once.
So that's your reason for wanting to change my wedding and hand it over to your daughter, and then have my fiancé marry her during that wedding? That is going way too far.
If only I had just stayed quiet about you and him. Anita would have never been able to find out that you were with her man. Well, too bad for you, Megan. She's so lucky that her mother works at that wedding hall.
Can you please let me talk with Anita? Right now, all I can see happening from what you plan to do is more than just my fiancé and I being hurt.
I told you, right? She is not willing to talk with anyone right now. She knows the truth about everything now, and I'm not going to let you hurt her anymore. You better be ready for the day that we get everything you stole from her back. We're going to make you pay for ever thinking it was okay to steal someone else's fiancé, someone else's wedding, someone else's happiness.
Hold on, though, please. Hey?
Long time no see. Today is the perfect day for a wedding, right? The weather is just right and the sun is shining bright.
It's about time you replied to me. I haven't been able to get anything back from either you or your mother this whole time. I've only wanted for you and I to meet in person so that we can talk all this through in person, but now I'm stressed out because of you.
That's because my mom and I blocked you this whole time. But I thought that I'd unblock you today so that I could give you the news. Ha!
What news?
Someone has to be around to tell the backstabber the news, right?
What are you talking about, Anita?
I know about today, Megan. About how your wedding is supposed to be happening today. I know that because my mom was able to tell me.
How did she find out about the date? My fiancé worked so hard with the staff to make sure to keep all that information private from her and anyone else not related to the wedding. We even made sure to only work on the wedding on days that she wasn't at the hall. Yet, she still found out all the details?
Of course. And all I needed to know was the date of your wedding. Nothing else. Well, I also need to make sure that I'm there so that I can get into your wedding.
What are you thinking of doing?
I'm going to make sure that your wedding is a complete mess.
What? You plan to make my wedding a mess? You have to be joking now, right? If you plan on doing something like that to my wedding, then you're going to end up putting yourself into a bad position. What the heck is that?
That is the ashes of your wedding dress that I burnt up.
You burnt that dress? Like you actually went into the dressing room and burnt the dress yourselves?
My mom was able to get me into the dressing room while nobody was around, and we both worked to burn it to ashes. It was way too easy. A backstabber like you has no use for a dress like this, right? You are the one that stole my fiancé from me, so you deserve to have your dress destroyed. You're not going to complain about it, right? Your wedding's going to be freaking canceled now, you pile of trash.
But I'm already wearing my wedding dress.
Huh? You're wearing your wedding dress right now.
My wedding is starting here soon, and so I had to make sure that I was set for it all a while ago.
What? Wait. But I just burned your dress to a crisp, right?
Are you sure that's actually my dress, though?
Who else's dress would it be? My mom is the one that brought me to this room after all and helped me burn it, and she works here.
So you're telling me that you went into the dressing room with the help of your mom with the intent of burning my wedding dress?
This is my way of getting back at a backstabber like you.
Well, I'm not having my wedding in that wedding hall today.
Huh? What did you just say?
I didn't want to have my wedding at the place your mom worked, so we changed plans.
Wait a second. What do you mean by that?
We were worried by the fact that your mom works there and had a suspicion that she would do something that would cause our wedding to be ruined. So we worked with our specialist to have the wedding moved to a different location that's a part of the same company. Ah, that's right. We made sure to do all of this with the utmost secrecy so that your mom wouldn't be able to find anything else out about what we were doing. So she only knew about the plans we had made before we made changes.
You have to be kidding me. So, in other words, you're telling me that you're not here right now.
Well, that's right. And that also means that the dress I planned to wear today is not being kept there, nor is the dress I plan to wear for the party after.
So then who the hell's dress is this?
I have no clue. But that'd have to be the dress of whoever is planning on having their wedding there today, right?
So then your wedding isn't going to be canceled today, and you'll be able to get married to my fiancé?
Well, about that, Anita. After both your mom and you stopped replying to me, I looked a bit into you both and showed my fiancé. But he told me he had no clue who either of you are.
No matter what he says about us and what you showed him, you are the one that stole my fiancé from me.
Well, actually, that man that you had been dating for a while and then assumed you'd be getting married to before he left you and never replied to you again is someone that I've looked into as well.
You know about him because he's your fiancé.
He's my fiancé's cousin, Anita.
He's your fiancé's cousin? What? His cousin.
For a very long time, he and his cousin have both looked really identical to one another, so much so that even their moms get confused sometimes. And actually, I've met him once before as well, and they sure do look very similar to one another. But of course, if you look close enough at them, they have differences. And his cousin happens to be a bit older, 3 years in fact. However, my fiancé is the same age as you and I are. And if you watch them from afar like your mom did, they both have the same characteristics. I can see why she thought that he was your fiancé when she saw him a little while back.
So you're telling me that your fiancé and mine are both different people? But they are both still doctors, right?
You already know that, right? That both of them live in a family full of doctors?
Well, now that you mention it, you're right. So what you're saying is that this whole time it was all just a misunderstanding?
Well, when I spoke to my fiancé's cousin about you and him, he told me the reason for him leaving you is because after talking about marriage, he learned that you and him valued very different things. That's what led to him saying that you both should find other people.
We value different things? What about what I value is so wrong?
Well, he told me that if he had married you, then you asked him to come and live with you and your mom at her house.
Well, he should be doing that for us, right? I can't just leave my mom by herself to move out of the house and into a house of his own.
But to get to the hospital that he works at from your mom's house would take him over 4 hours a day round trip.
Well, that wouldn't matter to him because he'd have me as his wife and my mom as his in-law.
You also told him to hand over most of his earnings and make you his housewife so that you didn't have to work anymore. And you asked that he make sure to give you 5 kids. And of course, not just those things, but also that within a year of you guys getting married, that he remodels your mom's whole house into a place of your liking. The cost of all that being around $1.7 million.
Well, when you want the house to be all up to date with all the newest systems, as well as have all the smart home features on the market, the price will be that high.
You asked to make sure that the house was made into a place where you didn't even have to put any effort into the chores. Even saying that he could have cleaners come in twice a week to clean it out for you.
Well, I want the place to be spotless all the time, and I'd also like some pros to come in and cook for us every day so that our food is amazing. That should be perfect to him as well, right?
Well, what will you do for him, Anita?
I told him that I'll be his housewife and do the chores.
But you're wanting to have a cleaning service come in as well as pro chefs to cook dinner. From what I see, you're asking for him to give up all his money so that you and your mom can live like royalty while he works all day. That's why he left you, Anita.
What I asked from him is normal. He asked me to tell him what I valued and what I wanted, and I told him everything. I said that I'd do what I could do to support him as well.
Did you listen to what he wanted from you?
Of course I did!
Well, he told me that you didn't listen to anything he said to you.
He has to be BSing then.
He said that all you'd say to him is that he's a doctor, so he should be able to make himself happy and support himself, as well as you and your mom. He was tired of being with you because all you thought about was how with him being a doctor, it meant he could get you anything, and that you wanted everything from him.
But that's...
He has left you now, Anita, so can you please stop trying to talk about him like he's your fiancé?
Where is your wedding? He's the cousin of your fiancé, so he'll be there as well, right? I'm going to come to that wedding right now. I want for all of us, including my fiancé, to talk this over. And I'd like you to help me get back together with him.
You want my help?
If you can help us get married as well, then you and I can become cousins or something, right? We'll both become the wives of doctors. How about you and I get our husbands to build us one huge mansion of our dreams that we can all live in, including my mom?
I'm sorry, but I'm not telling you the location of my wedding. And it's getting time for the event to start anyway, so I'm going to need to get going. But let me tell you this one thing before I go. Your ex does not want to get back together with you, so leave him be.
You're telling me he doesn't want anything to do with me anymore? That's a straight up lie. Hold on a second, Megan. Megan, please answer your phone. I need your help.
There's nothing in this world that I'd be able to help you with, Anita.
Hurry up and get me back together with my ex right now.
I told you that that's going to never happen. He's over ever getting back together with you. So can you please just let him have the peace of mind that he deserves regarding you two?
If you don't get him to come back to me right now, I'm going to be screwed.
Screwed?
I need him to marry me right now so that he can pay off all the money that I owe.
What are you going on about now, Anita?
I am being told that I'm going to have to pay for the dress that I burnt, as well as pay off the settlement that's being asked from me. And the amount they want is massive. I'll never be able to handle all of this on my own.
But you're the one that chose to burn that dress to a crisp, right? It's only fair that they ask you to pay for their dress and whatever else they're upset about.
But that dress was custom made for the bride and tailored by a very famous man. And not only that, but my mom is going to get fired.
Well, that's because she helped you in burning up that dress, right?
Well, we only did that because we thought the dress was yours. Right now, neither of us are going to be able to pay off all this money. So I would like to meet my ex again and have him help us.
So you only want to get married to your ex now so that you can use his money to pay off the settlement you've been asked for?
He's a doctor, so something like that shouldn't be a problem for him, right?
I'm done with this. How much farther are you planning on being a problem for everyone? Because if you're going to take things any farther, I'll just block you and then you really will be without any help. But it's not like that would change anything because even now I have no desire to help you.
What? So you're totally okay with me losing all my money to a couple I don't know?
I do. And that's because you deserve all of that. You did all of this yourself with some help from your mom. So now you have to pay the price for it.
You're my friend though, right? You should be willing to help your friend out just a little, right?
Not only did you misunderstand everything like your mom, but you tried to burn the dress of your so-called friend. I do not need someone like you around me that thinks they can still be friends after that.
Don't say something like that to me. Right now, you haven't had to fall victim to anything, right?
It's not about me being a victim to anything involving all of this or not.
If nobody helps us, my mom and I are going to become homeless. Help us.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to cut all ties I have with you now. I can't be asked to deal with you any more than I already have. After this, the two of you figure something out by yourselves.
This has to be a joke, right? Wait, Megan! I was supposed to become the hot wife of a doctor, but now all my plans are falling apart.
After what had happened, both Anita and her mom tried going around to all their friends and family asking for money to help them out of the hole they were in. However, nobody had the money to help them with the debts they had and told them to find someone else to help them. In the end, they were forced to take out some loans by themselves and are using that money to pay off both the dress and the settlement for the ruined wedding. And to pay off those loans, they are both working completely new jobs, which mainly includes doing odds and ends work or being part-timers. And as for the relations they have between one another, their financial situation has really begun to ruin it, and they're left fighting one another day and night over who needs to be working more and paying more.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.